I be sparking and rushing, man, like inside the dark, call me Will Snatcher. Just a brother for the rapture. I hang live, holding on strong, hard to capture, extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifesting. The gods work like appliances, dealing in my same like a lot.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a very serious discussion about everybody's favorite sussy, Baka Amado. Going into Boruto Chapter 72, we're all eagerly awaiting just to see what it is Amado has planned for Kawaki and the shutdown sequence he programmed into Kawaki's body when he gave him that ninja tech karma. Some people have said that Amado's motives have to do with his dead daughter, which I agree with, but a lot of people, to a point where it's becoming inescapable, a lot of people have been saying they believe Amado's dead daughter is actually Kaguya. So in today's video, I want to take a look at why people believe that Amado's daughter is Kaguya, and I want to explain to you guys why I do not agree with the idea that Kaguya is Amado's daughter, though I will concede there is one major point that could work in favor of those people who are dead set on thinking that Kaguya is Amado's daughter. But again, to restate, I do not believe so. So what we're going to do now is just jump right into why I so strongly believe Amado's daughter is not Kaguya, to the point where I refuse to even make a fan theory about it, despite the numerous requests I've gotten, which it should be noted, there's very rarely been a fan theory that I've not been willing to discuss here over on the channel. That's why that playlist of Naruto fan theories is, I think at this point, over 300 videos deep. So why exactly does Kaguya being Amado's daughter rub me in the way that it does, to the point where I won't even make videos on it? Well, I'm going to explain why, and this is very different. When we first learned that Amado had a daughter who passed away, the release in the manga was very specific. Naruto was dealing with the prospect of losing his son Boruto, and the Kages had just told him, hey, you need to kill Boruto before Boruto can become an Otsutsuki. Naruto, with the grim expression, had said that if it came to that he'd be willing to do what needed to be done as Hokage. But when he was alone with Amado, we saw that Naruto had been struggling with this decision. It was at that point that Amado revealed to him that he understood where Naruto was coming from and the struggle that came of potentially losing a child, which is why he gave him the Byakugan drugs that would slow down Boruto's karma extraction. It wouldn't stop it altogether, but it would at least buy them some time to find a solution to save Boruto before the karma extracted 100% and Momoshiki was able to resurrect using Boruto's body. In that moment, he said, I had a daughter once too, but she died 12 years ago. That's the line I think people are overlooking. I think they just stopped at the I had a daughter line and then their minds went crazy. And I think that a lot of people are not paying attention to the timeline marker. 12 years ago is a very specific line. For clarification, where we are currently in the Boruto timeline, we are now 16 years removed from the 4th Great Ninja War. The battle with Kaguya was 16 years ago in October, with the battle literally ending on Naruto's birthday. That's not headcanon. We literally have multiple source materials that break down the Naruto timeline. By the author's own words, in 2014, Naruto Gaiden took place 14 years after the 4th Great Ninja War. Kishimoto's author comment in Naruto Gaiden said that Sarada was 11 years old. Promotional material for the Boruto movie had the events of the movie taking place 15 years ago, and we know that the anime just had its 16-year anniversary for the 4th Great Ninja War, because I mean, we saw it in Boruto episode 178, and then we turn around and have an episode 213 or episode 214 where Amado refers to it as being 16 years since the 4th Great Ninja War, where he says that the world was almost destroyed. We have light novel statements that back that line of thinking up as well, that the 3 days that encompass the 4th Great Ninja War took place 15 years before Momoshiki attacked Konoha. It's why you guys have repeatedly heard me say over and over that over a year in time has passed between the events of the Momoshiki battle and the events of the Vessel arc. So Amado's daughter dying 12 years ago does not line up with the timeline if you take him at his word, because the timeline info we have from multiple source materials does not add up. You know, the fact of the matter is that there's a lot of timeline markers in the anime if you pay attention to the quote filler episodes that are anime canon, like that 16-year anniversary of the 4th Great Ninja War, or in the episodes where Himawari was making the vase for Hinata. And I'll explain and how that ties into Amado. As of just before the Vessel arc, we were in the 16th calendar year for the 4th Great Ninja War, which was October. By episode 180, we had a couple months that passed us by, and we know we're in the month of December because Boruto sees Himawari making Hinata's vase, and he realizes that her birthday's coming up soon. He says it's almost mom's, and he trails off, and he realizes he doesn't have a gift for her, which ends up being the flower that he puts in the vase. Hinata's birthday is December 27th. The events of the Vessel arc, where Boruto fights against Ao, all the way up to this current section of the manga, takes place in the next calendar year. So that will be the calendar year for the 17th anniversary of the 4th Great Ninja War. With the 17th anniversary itself, with the 17th anniversary for the war still being a ways away due to how early in the calendar year that we are. That's reason number 150 why people that skip episodes like what I just listed out, because they say it's anime canon, which means that it's really filler and it doesn't matter. That's why you can't skip that shit. Getting back to it though, the timeline does not add up. Could Amado just be lying? Sure. It's not the first time that he would have just told a lie to throw attention off his true motives. If we're being real here, I'd be more inclined to chalk it up to a translation error, like how the English translators fumbled very hard twice before in the Boruto anime, during the Momoshiki arc and then during the time slip arc, during a few scenes based on how words were being used, which, as a reminder for those of you guys who do not know, Japanese words have multiple meanings, and as a language, it's extremely context heavy, so mistakes do happen. That's why you can't use Google Translate to translate Japanese to English. But the reason why I feel so confident on that 12 years line is because we have verified Japanese speakers who are translators in our community, some of whom actually live in Japan, who've pointed out that that 12-year line was indeed Amado specifically saying 12 years. I'd much rather take the words of somebody that can tell the difference between kanji and katakana and hikagana than Google Translate. That being said, could Amado be pulling an Obito and lying and twisting the truth? It's certainly possible. I personally don't think it is. I feel like this is a moment where Amado might have actually offered up some form of truth in order to stay on Naruto's good side. Look, Amado's not stupid. In fact, if he becomes a villain, I think he's gonna be one of the smartest villains we've had in the whole series. He knew Naruto was just speaking to the Kages, and even if Naruto did not initially suspect him of being devious, some of the other Kages likely would have been suspicious and they would have told Naruto to be careful. Offering up a form of truth like this is enough to disarm someone, especially when that truth resonates with them on a personal level. The best liars often use truths in order to hide their lies, and Amado is one hell of a liar. Could this be an Obito situation where he's withholding the truth so as to not draw suspicion? It's possible, but I push back and I say this: if he said his daughter died 16 years ago, nobody bats an eye, and here's why. The war was 16 years ago. Thousands of people died in the 4th Great Ninja War, and we know for a fact from the novels that it wasn't just shinobi who died, but some of those Bijudama that got fired off, they ended up hitting areas that weren't battlefields that were designated in the 3 countries that were cleared out for the war. If Kaguya was his daughter, all Amado had to do in order to avoid any type of suspicion is just saying that his daughter died 16 years ago and avoid saying that she fought in the war, and nobody would actually bat an eye at that because there were civilian casualties. However, why do so many people think that Kaguya is Amado's daughter, to the point where I literally got an artist commissioned to draw them as father and daughter, and I even trolled with Amado having the Karma still in Otsutsuki clothing, outside of not realizing how much time has passed between the events of the 4th Great Ninja War and how much time has passed since the start of the Momoshiki arc. I genuinely think it's because people are looking for an answer into how Amado knows as much as he does about Karma and the Otsutsuki. He just happens to give Sasuke the coordinates to a dimension where the Tentos is, and there are 2 missing Otsutsuki that haven't been addressed yet in the manga, which people think Amado could be one of them. Before we got the reveal of Amado's last name, I was one of the people who thought that Amado might have Otsutsuki genetics. I wasn't going as far as he was full-blown Otsutsuki, as in he was part of the race, but I took the stance that maybe he'd been the recipient of karma in the past, which is how he would have known what happens when people have karma but it isn't fully extracted at the time of rebirth for an Otsutsuki into another vessel who had that karma to extract, which is why he had knowledge about what happened with Kawaki, but even that was on shaky ground. People wanted him to be Kaguya's father, and I believe it's because they think It would explain how he was able to make ninja tech this advanced behind Konoha's capability, which I've already explained how he did so in my How Strong Are the Car Inner Members video. And people want him to be Kaguya's father because it explains why he knows so much about the Otsutsuki clan. He's a walking Otsutsuki encyclopedia. It's the easiest connection that we can draw, and had Kodachi still been the writer for Boruto's manga, I'd be inclined to think that this might be the route that it goes, but with Masashi Kishimoto back writing the story and the increasing references that we're seeing to Buddhism, Asian religion, and Asian folklore being slipped into the manga, case in point, Amado's last name being a reference to the Hindu rivers of the afterlife, which I've done in a video titled How Amado's Dead Daughter and the Mythology Are Linked. I don't see Amado as an Otsutsuki by birth being the thing that people want it to be. I think we're just in a situation where he's a super smart guy who learned a fuck ton under Isshiki's vessel, Jigen, and he took the information that he learned and he filled in the blanks to get extremely close to the truth. And his daughter, in my opinion, is the why behind everything he's doing. I just don't think that daughter is Kaguya. That being said, this is where I turn the video over to you guys. Are you guys still on team Kaguya is Amado's daughter? Or are you like me and are you just skeptical about it? While you think that over, consider checking out my review for Black Clover Chapter 332, or check out my video on how strong the car inner members are.